welcome back to Dragon Ball GT Anime Review Part 3, and we're discussing, well, pretty much what's considered to be my favorite saga of the series, mostly anyways, the Super Android 17 saga, which is 7 episodes. Yes, it's really short, but here's the strange thing. The first episode has nothing to do with the actual arc itself. The first episode is an appearance by the World Martial Arts Tournament. Yeah, instead of taking up multiple episodes like I did previously, it's all like a one and done episode. Yep. Oh, and Goku into the juniors division. Because he's a kid. Despite the fact that Pan is also be probably that category. But Goku allows, despite the fact Mr. Satan lied. Oh yeah, height requirement? No, not really. He doesn't want to fight him, basically. He wants Pan to take over him. And Pan, basically overhearing the fact she might take over for her grandfather, Mr. Satan, she's like, I got a tummy ache. So she just licks lollipops with her father, Krillin, and Videl, her mother. And then later on we see Goku, who actually loses his match by pure accident. Yeah, he pretty much plows his competition really quickly. His last opponent he loses because he gets distracted by Vegeta of all people. Yes, Vegeta decided to show up because he just felt like it. Yep, and we all see this guy called Pie Man, and it turns out it's actually Majub. Yep, Goku figures it out right away, it's Majub. And then, of course, we had the fight between Mr. Satan and Majub, and Majub loses. Despite the fact it looked like Majub was going to win really easily because of, well, the regular Majub was inside of his body. It's like, yeah, gonna lose. And it's like, oh yeah, you get teased retirement. Like, nope, I'll stay retired. I'll stay retired. And of course, the episode ends with, it looks like we're going to have a fight between Goku and Vegeta on the bridge, and then the fight gets aborted because Goku is hungry. And that's it for that. Next episode probably begins like a week later, I'd say. As so much time has passed between the Baby Saga and this one, I would say it's been like a couple months, I'd say. Yeah, we see like Bulma, Bula, and of course Goku and family just eating some special food, waiting for Trunks to show up. Like, wonder where the heck Trunks is. We're so soft with this. Even so, centipedes. Like, ew, who wants centipedes? And then Trunks shows up, and he's beaten up. Turns out he was beaten up by Android 17. Yes, Android 17 beat him up. They actually show the flashback of how it happened. It's like, okay, apparently he's driving home in his limo. Yes, Trunks has a limo. And the limo is pretty much destroyed, though the driver actually survives. He ends up fighting Android 17. He points to the sky. What's in the frickin' sky? A gigantic hole. What's on the other side of that hole? Hell itself. Though apparently the people who made the series didn't watch Dragon Ball Z because Hell looked completely different in Dragon Ball Z. Like, this particular Hell, it's like, okay, let's have a bunch of smoke, solid ground. It's like this might be a different corner of Hell. Oh yeah, and also, the first episode stuff really cool. We have Dr. Mew just walking through the wasteland, and all of a sudden we hear a voice talking to him. And he meets the person his voice belongs to. It's Dr. Gero, a guy who's been dead since the Android Saga of the DBZ series. He was killed by Android 17. Dr. Mew was killed by Baby. Yep, they hatched a plan to work together. Interesting. Their plan is to build an android. Where they got the materials from is never explained. It's like, oh, let's make a copy of Android 17, the very same android that killed Dr. Gero. Also, let's open up a portal from Hell to Earth, unleash like a boatload of classic villains onto the populace, just because we want to take over the world and replace with artificial intelligence. Yeah, that's Dr. Gero's plan. Dr. Mew wants to conquer the galaxy. And what classic villains we have pop out of this hole? We see the Ginyu Force. We have freaking Cooler from the DBZ movies. Yeah, he shows up here for a quick cameo. By the way, we never see any of the Z-Fighters fight the Ginyu Force. Nope, they're apparently defeated off-screen, mind you. We also see the Riverman Army show up. Nappa shows up for a couple episodes. By the way, he gets defeated by freaking Vegeta. I thought this was so hilarious. Like, you see him, like, level a city, and all of a sudden, look, there's Vegeta. Kills him. We also see Pew Pew and Yarkon from the Bobbity Saga show up. Yeah, and they're easily handled by Trunks and Goten. Of course, Goten's on their date with his beautiful girlfriend. They also apparently take care of Android 19 really quickly. Yeah, it's like, I get the reason why they were taking so quickly, because he's weak, so perfectly fine there. And we also see that apparently Pan defeats the remnants of the Riverman Army so easily. Yeah, because Goku defeated these things really easily when he was a kid. Basically, the people who beat were Major Metallotron, Staff Officer Black, and General Blue. Yeah. And then, like, flying away, and then they're confronted by General Roldo. Yes, a guy who died early on in the previous saga of the series. He got killed by Baby. Not by one of the main characters. No, he got killed by freaking Baby. And he hits up, and of course, he's about to attack. He fires his hand at Pan, who's carrying Mr. Satan, and he's stopped by Gohan. Yes, freaking Gohan. Gohan takes in the man who fought his daughter and his father. And he nearly gets killed by General Roldo. Roldo himself was destroyed by freaking Trunks. Yep. And all of a sudden, we also see Trunks and Goten team with Majub to take on the Cybermen, who have not been seen since the Vegeta Saga when they were all killed by... I think they were killed by freaking Krillin. Yeah, I think he killed them. And, let's see. Oh yeah, and also Frieza and Cell are here. I'm thinking, okay, I'm glad the fact these two are here because these are classic villains and people love these characters. I'm like, okay, first of which, okay, where is King Piccolo? He is never seen here. I get why Evil Majin Buu is not here because he's basically reincarnated as Oops, so that's perfectly fine. So, where is King Cold? Where is King Piccolo? Also, we see Zarbon and Deborah. You see them, but nobody fights them, and yet these guys defeated off-screen, mind you. Yeah, an unknown why that is. It's particularly very weird. Of like, okay, we have these other cool classic villains from the Namekian Saga, Captain Ginyu, and the Frieza Saga, but nope, let's have these characters be off-screen. Yeah, it's like that maybe they're going to have more classic, cool, awesome stuff here, but we have to cut it for frickin' time. And where's Goku go? He goes to hell. And he gets sealed there by Dr. Gero and Dr. Mew. And who is the opponents? Frieza and Cell. At least Cell looks fine. Frieza's like, Toei, what the heck did you do to Frieza? He made his purple part of his body like almost look like it's black. Like, what the heck was this? And also, his little spin disc thing, which was the last heck he used prior to his death, those were purple, not yellow. Why the heck would they have him use Krillin's move? Make no freaking sense at all. I mean, he has his own disc move. It's purple. And matter of fact, Cell is used. I get why Cell used the same moves he used against Goku. And also, he does something like, really? You do this to friggin' Goku. He actually tried to absorb Goku through his tail. The same thing he used to absorb Android 17, 18 in his own sagas of the series. Yes, I'm not kidding about that. Why the heck is he in his perfect cell form is never actually... My guess is because, well, there's actually a reason for that. Muscle memory. Yep, that's the reason why. Muscle memory. Oh yeah, and by the way, they actually later fire him down the hole thanks to a combination technique, and then send him to the deepest part of hell. Which, that part from what I've heard from... Now, I've heard this particular portion of hell described... I haven't read the poem of Dante's Inferno, but I have heard that... I have heard the deepest part of hell is actually where it's the coldest part of hell. So, my guess is it must be this portion of hell from Dante's Inferno, because that's where we get a lot of info about hell from Dante's freaking Inferno. And Goku gets tortured via, like, a stew pot, a steam shack, and finally freezing to death. Yep, and he gets frozen. It looked like he's about to get killed, but nope, since he wasn't dead, he easily breaks out and then turns the machine that turned him frozen on Frieza and Cell and beats them. And then, of course, like, okay, he needs to get out of hell. Like, okay, he's beaten these two. He wants to go back. So, King was like, we need to send somebody down there. And Piccolo's like, hey, let me do it. I'll take care of it. And he basically starts blasting her. Hey, like, send me to hell. It's like, wait, you're a good guy. Wait, I'm the evil Piccolo. Bam, bam, bam. Destroy a bunch of trees. Okay. And of course, you want to go to hell? You go to hell. Bam. Right to hell. He's like, okay. And then, of course, we see a similar technique they use from the from the Black Star Dragon Ball Saga, which they actually reference here. Where it's like we have Piccolo contact frickin' Dende to use the same technique that the Android 17s used to open up this portal. And they try counting, that doesn't work. And then they try using word phrases, which they're both embarrassed by. And it works. And Goku tells Piccolo, I'll do for this. And apparently off screen, all the other escapees were rounded up, including Captain Ginyu, which he wasn't seen here. Yeah, apparently he's got his body back yet. That's never actually explained. Of how the heck he got his body back here. He goes, oh look, it's the Ginyu Force. They've been captured. When they were defeated, they probably defeated by the main characters off screen. And as for Vegeta Red defeats Nappa, that's when Android 17 shows up. Well, one of the two. The other one goes on a rampage in the nearby city and just happens to come across Krillin, 18, and Marin. And he tries to pretty much 18 to come with them. She resists. And because of basically Krillin. And 17's response is to kill Krillin. Yes, kill Krillin. I don't have a problem with this because at least it builds an actual moment that you see at the end of the saga. Yeah, and then of course she gets wounded, but she survives, and 17 goes off, and he merges with the other 17. Oh yeah, and they kept saying this is a resurrected 17, which that makes no sense because he was resurrected by, Shenron at the end of the Cell Game saga. Why the heck they say that he's actually resurrected makes no fucking sense. The outfit he's wearing here is the outfit he wore his last appearance in the series, which was his brief cameo in the Kid Buu saga. And of course they get to where everyone else is, and him and the other androids, him and the other 17 merge. And what do we get? Well, we get a guy with a long sleeve shirt with showing off his shoulders. He's got look like a gum suspenders. He looks like a 90s punk, like a professional style one. It's like he's dressed like a freaking hitman. Also, his hair is much longer. He keeps having to remove the hair from his face a lot. And basically we have the Saiyans, basically Gohan, Trunks, Goten, and Vegeta, try their best against Android 17. And Vegeta's the one who actually bows to have a good fight, because the other ones didn't train very well over the years. And when Goku gets out, he ends up basically briefly battling 17. And eventually, and it's also seen during the course of this battle, we see a spotlight on the 4-star Dragon Ball, and it's cracking. And then we see the 1-star Dragon Ball, and it's cracking too. We also see the 2-star Dragon Ball later on in the final episode, like it's cracking. What this is, I'll explain that in a minute after I finish up this, because that sets up the final arc of the series, which I'm so excited to be talking about that in part 4. So after basically brawling for a while, like, okay, he gets nowhere, and Makami's like, you can come out now, I know you're faking it. And he comes up, and he's Super Saiyan 4. And he does this in the second to last episode of the arc. And then he ends up fighting him for a good period of time. Of course, he figures out, though, that he is absorbing his attacks. Yep, and he's pointing out, and of course, Goku points out to Dr. Mu that Android 17 will fail just like Baby did. Good continuity there. He also points to another continuity nod. It's like, what, you're copying Android 19 now? Seriously, you're outdated. And the whole thing with him, he also did this really cool thing where he moved his hand and had like a little machine gun turret in it. My guess is Dr. Mu must have did that, because that's Dr. Mu for you. Also, he secretly reprogrammed the robot to obey him. So it ends up killing Dr. Gero. So he's like one of two characters killed by the same person. Like, where he dies twice and he's killed by the same person. Like, Nappa was killed by Vegeta twice, and now Dr. Gero has been killed by 17 twice. Yep. And then, of course, they brawl for a while. And then, of course, look like Goku's like out of energy and nearly self-destructing on him. And then, look like 17 is about to kill him, and all of a sudden, 18 shows up. Okay, how the heck did she find out Goku was here? She must have followed them around the freaking planet because they were battling all over the world. Yep. And while Chi-Chi and Videl, Bola, and Bulma fly over to where Goku is, Bulma notices that the planet is going out of control. Like, the volcanoes erupting. Of course, they feel that later. And there's earthquakes. So, like, the planet's unstable. We need to get fixed right now. Despite the fact we just got the thing fixed in the previous arc. Yeah, I will get to that. So, 18 basically convinces 17, don't have yourself controlled by a doctor. And Doctor was like, yeah, no one control you. And then he gets killed by Android 17. So twice he gets killed by his own creation. First Baby, and then Super Android 17. Yep, and then eventually, like, 18 is like blasting because she goes like, I won't forgive you for killing Krillin. And Goku was like, he killed Krillin? Oh no, that makes me angry. Of course, it turns Super Saiyan. Nope. She has a blasting. Of course, she has to put his shield because he's vulnerable. So basically, Goku uses a move that I think he used way back in Dragon Ball. Though basically formed a monkey fist. This one is a dragon fist, which uses to punch a hole straight through Android 17. And then he ends up pretty much eviscerating him after, and then fires 3 Kamehameha waves on him, basically destroying him. And then, of course, Bulma informs him like everything is back normal. And, of course, Goku tells 18 that 17 basically wanted this and basically did comfort her. And he says, don't worry, we'll bring back Krillin with the Dragon Balls. So, like, that's cool. And, like, let's go gather the Dragon Balls up. And, of course, Giru basically is seen there in the fight. Of course, he also frees Gohan when he's briefly paralyzed by General Roldo, his arm and leg. Yeah, he used the same technique he used to free Goku, Pan, and in the early part of Baby Saga. And he gets fixed. And so, we have a Dragon Ball. So, we have Trunks, Pan, and Goku go hunt for them. In the same spaceship they used to go in space. Why in the world they can't use a car, I have no idea. And they find the Dragon Balls, so they're cracked. And it turns out all 7 are cracked. And like, wonder the reason what's going on. And they try to summon Shenron. Of course, they make a different sound than usual. And then they after coming calling Shenron twice, the Dragon Balls start emitting black smoke. And then another dragon shows up that's not freaking Shenron. Who this is now explained to the start of our next saga. But this is the setup for the Shadow Dragon Saga. The saga at the end of the series. This saga had a good start to it. I love the fact they brought back these classic villains. One thing I didn't like, though, was the fact they actually had a lot of them get eliminated off screen. I'm like, seriously? You ever make all these cool villains, and, this is the problems this saga has. Aside from the fact that a lot of the villains are defeated off screen. Another problem? Its length. It's really short. Based on how much material is here, you could easily see this for about 15-20 episode arc. Nope, it had to be freaking 7. My only guess is the reason why it was cut down, and this is my personal theory. I think because they really wanted to get the next arc so badly, they probably had it all ready to go. But my guess is the reason why they had to cut this down, probably because the ratings were terrible for this arc. That's my personal theory. The ratings were actually that bad. That's my personal theory. Another problem, why the heck would they turn Android 17 good? Turn him evil again? Yeah, that made no freaking sense. Now, Dr. Mu and Dr. were working together. That's fine. That's a cool thing. I love the whole opening portal over the sky. It disrupts the whole planet. Okay, that's a good setup for the very next arc. That's great. I like the fact we have Easter eggs setting up the very next arc of the series. Which, that's good. Plus, I love the fact that the saga had pretty good pacing for the first half of the saga. And then we had to go speed right through it. because we had to get to the next saga really quickly. Because I think Toei was getting desperate. Because I think the saga was probably not doing too well. Even though they knew the Shadow Dragon saga was coming next, we just had to do this saga and end the series right there because a lot of people are hating the series and no one's watching it. That's just my personal theory. They probably did the Shadow Dragon to bring people back to the series, but at this point, conclusion to it. All in all, when it comes to this particular saga, it's good, but it had sort of a weak ending to it. I mean, I liked the whole thing of Goku defeating 17 the way he did. That's fine. I had no problem with that. The problem with this arc is the major problem with it, in my opinion, was the fact it was rushed. Yes, this arc was rushed. And they got some stuff wrong here, some minor things here and there. But I kind of felt as though there was supposed to be more here with the classic villains. I love that aspect of it. Of course, that only lasts for 3 episodes. It started episode 42, and all of a sudden the classic villains are all defeated by episode 44 because we got thrown Super Android 17. Yeah, we can't have him hang on the background for longer than just 3 episodes. Yes. But that's my only problem with this arc, is that it was rushed. It was a good storytelling. I love the hook of it. Everything with it also was great. The animation is fantastic for this arc, with the exception of how they look Hell and Frieza's disc attack, which he was supposed to be purple, not freaking yellow. Aside from that, it's a good arc. Okay, so that's it for particular view. My guess is probably to do the final arc of the series, Shadow Dragon, tomorrow. The arc for that, I'm going to start today anyways. But I think after finish the arc, I will discuss the TV special the series had. Yep, the TV special, the GT Legacy. Yes, Hero Legacy. I will discuss that when I do part 5. But when I do part 4, I will discuss my final thoughts on the anime itself. The special is just a bonus. Okay? See you in the next video. Bye.